The attempted assassination of Donald Trump, which opens a dark new chapter in America's course history of political violence, shook a nation already deeply estranged during one of the most tense periods of its modern history. The targeting of a former president at a campaign rally just days before he accepts a Republican nomination is by definition an attack on democracy and the right of each American to choose their leaders. From our editorial desk, we bring you a report on Trump's assassination attempt and its implication on the U.S. election in particular and world politics at large. The report.
In a country already on edge, the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump has enraged his supporters, paused the Democratic campaign, and raised fears on further political violence in the run-up to November's election. Trump's Republican ally painted him as a hero on Saturday, seizing on the image of him with his hair bloodied and feet raised, appearing to mouth the words, "Fight, fight, fight."
Before we look at the implication on the implication of the attempt at Trump, the attempt of assassination, the assassination attempt at Trump, we have to understand the political landscape of America. You understand? You will realize that in the last 4 or 5 years, the politics in America has taken a new dimension. Before, America used to be seen as the global house of democracy, democratic principles, democratic ethos. But with the last election, which Trump lost, you will see that there was an attempt there was a political violence in America. So since that time, there has been this reoccurrence of political tension and friction in America. So this particular attempt, the implication can be seen in a multidimensional perspective. Number one, it shows that America, that used to project herself as the global house of democracy, is not actually so. Number two, it actually shows also that no system is perfect. That even America, that claims to be the powerhouse of democracy, is still not perfect. Number three, it actually shows that gradually democracy is failing. It shows that the presidential system which America practices is failing, and sooner or later other countries that are against the presidential system, especially countries from the east like Russia, like China, like North Korea, most of these countries are beginning to have their voice and say, see what is happening in America. Do you understand? And I think these are the implications.
Before the assassination attempt, Trump has said so many things in the course of his campaign. Number one is anti-black policies if he is elected. Then there are masterminds. You don't just narrow down on the person who actually shot the gun. What's his age? He's a young chap. So there are people behind him for him to have done that. Then Trump said that if he is elected, he will end Ukraine and the Russia war in a day. That means he's planning to start a third world war. So by starting the third world war, the whole world is in a serious mess. So people will not fold their hands and allow Trump to do this. So there are people, masterminds, behind the assassination attempt.
Though the motivation of the shooter is not yet known, the suspect, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crook, on Belters Park, Pennsylvania, was a registered Republican according to state voters' record. He previously made a $15 donation to a political action committee that raises money for left-leaning and democratic politicians.
Because Trump as an individual is a man that has a lot of guts. He's a man that does not believe in the how do I put it? That he's a man that does not care. He does not care whose horse is gog. He does not believe in sentiments. He does not give, if I can use that word, he does not give a damn about anybody. Do you understand? So he's annoying to some people. Some people feels that he has so much guts, he does not care. If Trump is granting an interview, he can insult everybody. So they feel that Trump is not a good example, he's not a perfect example of what America stands for. For them, Trump and his character and his activities is demarketing America. You understand? So there could be any reason It could be because of his personality. It could be because of his guts, because of his courage, his decision to come back for another term.
That's what I just mentioned. It's anti-black policies, it's utterances. There was a time he said he will pull down the wall, the fence between one of these Southern American countries and US, that he will send all the blacks away. So people are not happy. Then this issue, the one I mentioned before, the issue of ending Ukraine and Russia war in a day. How do you want to do that? If not that he wants to start the Third World War.
The United States is grappling with the biggest and most sustained increase in political violence since the 1970s. Of 14 fatal political attacks since supporters of Trump stormed the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021, in which the perpetrator or suspect had a clear partisan leaning. 13 were right-wing assailants, one was on the left.
Presently, Trump has no administration. He should have had what it has on Biden's administration. Because Trump is planning to come back. He's staging a comeback. He was president for 4 years, and he's planning to come back again. I don't know if you know that Trump is a multimillionaire. He doesn't know that he needs money. He has been president for 4 years. So the effect it will have on Biden's administration now is that people might be thinking that Biden actually masterminded this assassination attempt. Whereas, no, I don't think so. So it's Trump's utterances, Trump's policies geared towards the black in America. I think that is the major problem.
I just said it. One of the public perception is that we have come to realize that America, after all, is not perfect. You understand? It shows that there is no perfect political system in the world. You understand? And also, it also shows that if America, the powerhouse of democracy, in a broad daylight, an attempt can be made at a presidential candidate, it shows that the world is gradually sliding into another round of political tension. Thank you very much.
Despite being a former president, Trump has campaigned as an outsider insurgent, complaining that he has long been targeted by the federal deep state and Biden administration to prevent him from reclaiming power.